Hello and welcome to today on In the Kitchen with Paul. We're going to be doing a penne pasta with chicken and asparagus. It's a nice light meal. It's pretty easy to cook. What we're working with today is fresh boneless chicken breast. We've got asparagus over here. We've got, I like to use whole wheat penne because it's a nice kind of healthier touch to it. I'm using Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago cheese. And then also we've got the chicken broth. Plus we're going to have some small tomatoes. To start, we're going to be bringing this water to a nice light boil. It's just slightly salted water, and we're going to use it for the pasta later, so just make sure that there's enough water in there to cover the pasta. So the water over here is up to a nice boil, so we're going to add in the penne. The water here again just has light salt to it. So we're going to add in a whole package of this. Just grab a spoon, start mixing that in together. The penne, it'll take about 8 to 10 minutes for this to cook. Then we're going to get started on the chicken over here. So what we're going to do with this chicken is just cut it open. We're going to get out one of the chicken breasts. This recipe will be for 2 to 4 people, I would say. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now that we've cleaned the chicken, we're just going to slice it into cubes. Okay. And you'll get a good amount of chicken with just one of the breasts here. Alright, so the pasta's still doing fine over here, still cooking through. Over here we're going to get started with the chicken. How we're going to do that is in a frying pan. You're going to get the frying pan up to a medium heat, and you're going to throw in about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, this is about heated up, so we're going to add in the chicken now that we cut before. Just going to slide it right in there. Okay. And what we're going to mix in with that, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. Okay. Then we're going to cover it up so it doesn't splatter too much. So while all that's going on the stove, we've got the chicken cooking and we've got the penne, in a boil. What we're going to do is prepare the asparagus and the cheese and the tomatoes and garlic, all so that it's ready for when the right time is to mix it in. Alright, so with the asparagus, what we're going to do is cut it just into inch-long pieces. Okay. We're going to put in there. So this is a half clove of garlic. Okay, we're just going to slice this up, thinly sliced. Now that we've got everything else ready, we're going to start on the tomatoes. A serrated knife makes it really easy to cut tomatoes into what you want, and what we want is just thin slices and then cut those in half. So we just kind of want little bits of tomato like that. The pasta over here is doing fine. We can strain it after this so that we get rid of the excess water, and then we'll put it aside to cool off a bit. So now we're straining the penne pasta, and you're just making sure that all the excess water is out of there, because you don't want pasta that's all soaked down with water. The chicken is doing well. It looks pretty browned, and that's good. That's what we want, a nice light brown to it. So we're going to flip it over, make sure that it's fully cooked. You don't want to undercook chicken, but you also don't want to overcook it, so it's a fine line. I'm actually going to kill the heat on that and let it kind of cool off for a second, and then we're going to throw it onto paper towels and start cooking the asparagus in this frying pan. Now we're going to use the same pan that we were using before. We're going to turn on the heat here. Medium-high heat yet again. And you've got some olive oil in there. You don't need to clean it out. It kind of adds to the flavor having the chicken cooked in there as before. So you're going to add in 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And then on top of that, you're going to add in the asparagus, the garlic, and the tomatoes. Okay? So once that's all ready, we can mix everything together and it'll be all set to go. So these vegetables are just finishing up over here in the frying pan. What we're going to do is get this going again on a medium-high heat. And what we're going to do is transfer these vegetables into this pan. Then we're going to add in our chicken that we have on this paper towel. Again, the point of this isn't to cook it, it's just to mix the ingredients together. Alright, so we've got that mix going in there. What we're going to do, add in the pasta. Okay, I'm not going to use all of this because I made a little extra. So we're mixing all this stuff together. We got the chicken, we've got the asparagus, we got the garlic, we got the tomatoes, we got the chicken broth, we got the salt, the pepper, the olive oil, and the penne pasta. And the last ingredient is the cheese. So we're just gonna sprinkle a nice mix of this over everything, okay? Get some of this in there. Gonna mix it up and try to melt some of the cheese in there because you want some melted inside, and then we're also gonna throw some on top. So now that this looks like it's just about done, we're gonna transfer it over to the serving plate, throw a little more cheese on top, and then put our sides with it. As you can see, I'm serving this with a cashew and red raspberry vinaigrette salad, and I just added a slight bit more Parmesan Romano and Asiago cheese on top of the pasta because I thought it made it a bit more presentable. Thank you all for joining me today. We made a delicious meal, very healthy, sort of, and a nice way to prepare pasta with chicken because that's kind of a classic dish. Anyway, please join me again next week. We'll be working on something else. And for now, that's all for In the Kitchen with Paul. Thanks for watching.